It's PSVR without parole.
It's PSVR without parole.
Say, viewer takeover.
It's your takeover.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film a live show every Tuesday afternoon at midnight, and we do that. But this isn't that.
No.
This is the other show. This is PSVR Gamescast not live, pre-recorded. This is viewer takeover, and we let you, the loyal Gamecats, take over the show. As always, my name is Brian Paul, and to my right, your middle, it's Desra, and to my far right, your far left, it's Jeremy King.
It's a close one.
Anyone sick of me talking?
I stumbled on that one.
Very extreme political views over here.
Yeah.
Extreme right and extreme left.
That's right. Yeah, watch out.
Are you the Jordan Pearson in the middle there?
I'm just done.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And every week on Viewer Takeover, we scour the videos, we scour the comments, and we search for, let's be honest, we just search for hashtag Viewer Takeover.
Yep.
So if you leave hashtag Viewer Takeover in the comments, well, we might read your comment on Viewer Takeover. That's how this works. I didn't sleep last night, so I have no idea how this is going to go.
Yay! No sleep and caffeine.
No sleep till Brooklyn. Before we start this episode, however, I do want to thank Texatron. Texatron did our viewer takeover introduction. He did one recently, but he did one again. This is it was Texatron, Robin Chan, and Little Chan, and Puppy Chan, the whole Chan family.
All of them.
Oh God, Chan family, and wishing of course everybody happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.
I was like, maybe I should save this one until Christmas, and then all the ones that are rolling in are all Christmas themed. So it's apparently scary month. I mean.
Hey.
Wait, that was
Festive
October.
Festive month.
Festive month.
Festivus.
It's for the rest of us.
Yes.
All right. But Texatron, our good friend, is not the only person we want to thank this week, is he?
No. No, we want to thank some other people who have taken the lead of the Beauty and the Decay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to thank these people.
Oh, those people
These
too.
people down here.
I was trying to be helpful and like jump ahead, like, oh, Brian does every time. I know what to do.
Well, if we don't get this scroll rolling right away,
yes,
the show's going to be over before the scroll is
scrolling. Okay.
Right?
These are people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole
Games.
and they're giving us $1 or more every single month. And for that $1 or more every single month, Jeremy, what do they get?
Well,
I have no idea.
they got to meander on over to Patreon without parole/games. And there they have access to the
None of that was accurate.
the little episode shows called The Litter Box, where each week, usually these two, sometimes we'll shake it up and Jeremy might be in the scratch around the little box, but discuss things usually not VR related, and you don't get many MP3s. What else do you get, Brian?
I don't even know anymore. But thank you so much for your Patreon support.
Yes, thank you.
But of course, our Patreon supporters, the fluffiest of the fluff, you're not the only people we want to thank this week.
Very
we also
fluffy.
want to thank. Oh, Des, why don't you tell them, since you definitely know this part?
Yeah. Anyways, we were. I'm just awful. Okay, we want to actually thank those people who took the Beauty and the Decay's lead. See, I had a cold the first time, and now just
Now it's lukewarm.
verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
Anyways, and change your name to something the Game Cat. So this week we have McLab the Game Cat. And then
And I have to say, Mick Live was a hard one to track down. I saw his name pop up when I was streaming, I want to say Prison Boss VR.
Okay.
But I'd never seen him in the comments before. So I actually had to rewatch the Prison Boss Let's Play so that I could find his name.
that's impressive.
Because he just doesn't comment.
Oh,
But
okay.
there he was.
All right.
I found you.
So McLad the Lurker Game Cat.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And then VR is the best hashtag game category.
We're giving it to him.
Yeah, that's
It's hotcakes.
it's hotcakes.
Yeah,
Okay.
That makes sense.
We're giving it to him because it's a slow week. There's an excuse every week to give it to him, but this week the excuse is because it's a slow week.
That's like
I'm
a very
curious of
Will
how-
Short's like crossword puzzle version.
VR is the best hashtag game category.
Like, I mean, he could go anywhere. I mean, it's limitless what you could do as long as he puts cat in there somewhere in game. He's nonstop.
Yeah, we've given him a lot of leeway,
Venison
Yeah.
Cat.
but we love him.
Yeah,
Game Cat.
All
that's
right.
awesome.
All right, so it's time for viewer takeover when we copy and paste all of your comments and questions into a word processing document that changes all of our periods to question marks, and we read them that way because we think it's funny. I say that every week, but it's not true anymore.
No,
Well, no, I see
Not
some
even
question
really.
marks in here.
Yeah, but they're real,
Oh,
They're-
well, that's
yeah.
the problem.
which are the dumbest kind of question marks. They're real ones.
I think the printer's moved on spiritually to another printer somewhere.
It's very possible. So the first comment comes from Cornerstone City 777, and this is from our Farpoint PlayStation VR review discussion episode. He writes, hashtag viewer takeover. That's a thing.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm getting an aim controller this Christmas. This is a game, must be referring to Farpoint. I want to play properly with the aim, so Christmas Day I'll be running away from those face-jumping spiders. What other games use the aim that makes the game better rather than using the DualShock 4? The answer to that question is every game that uses the aim and the DualShock 4 is better with the aim.
Pretty much. I read that question and I could not think of an exception.
Yeah.
We have one.
I forget the name of it. The one everyone hates. What's the game? The military full spectrum warrior-esque type game?
Wait, Bravo Team?
Bravo
Do you
Team.
think Bravo Team is better with the DualShock 4?
I've never used the aim for it yet. Still.
You own an aim controller.
Yeah.
There's a problem with this conversation. And the problem with this conversation is that you're part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You were on a PlayStation VR podcast and you've never played Bravo Team with an aim controller.
No. I enjoyed
The only thing that makes that
D4.
game even remotely enjoyable.
I liked it. Yeah,
Well,
I'm one of the minority.
To be fair, I've never played Bravo Team just because everyone else has hated it so much. So
We have better things for you to do.
really, yeah.
At this point, yeah. There's no point.
Oftentimes that better thing is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so pretty much like any game that even partially has aim support, almost always is better with the aim. The only exception I'm going to make,
Yeah.
but it's not really answering that question, is Doom VFR.
Ah,
Because
that's
that
true.
is actually does support the aim, but the move controllers are really the way it's meant to be played.
I
And-
100% agree.
Dick Wild, right? That doesn't enhance it. It just gives you access to different
Yeah, I'd say
weapons
that
that you hold.
they're equal,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's two different but equal experiences. But I can't think of a single one where the DS4, the DualShock 4 or whatever is the advised way to play it.
Yeah, for sure. Just a quick rundown of all the games that, off the top of my head, just moments before we started filming, I made us a quick list of aim games. If you guys maybe can help me out if I'm forgetting anything. We got Wraith, The Perfect Sniper, The Brookhaven Experiment, Arizona Sunshine, which, by the way, I do actually prefer the moves for.
Yeah.
It's just like Doom VFR. It's just a different way of
Yeah,
playing.
you have kind of some of the reloading things feel cooler.
Feels cooler, and I just like dual wielding in Arizona Sunshine. It feels like that's the way the game was made.
Yeah.
Firewall 0 Hour, of course.
Yes.
Farpoint, Dick Wild, Doom VFR, and of course Bravo Team.
Yeah.
I'm sure I forgot something. There's gonna be somebody out there who's like, "You forgot this game," and I'm like, "You're absolutely right." And then somebody below that's gonna say, "You also forgot this game." I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, "You're right too," because
Yeah, this is not meant to be a comprehensive list, but I think in general, if you get a choice between DualShock and aim, hands down DualShock, hands down aim. If you have a choice between move and aim, it depends on the game.
but very seldom.
Yeah.
It's very seldom will it be the moves over the aim. All right, well, you're up, Asia.
All right, we have ZQD on Job. Wow, this is going back a while. On the Job Simulator PSVR review discussion episode. Hashtag viewer takeover. Oh, that's why.
It's a thing.
What's your story? I mean, how did you go from not owning a PSVR to where you are today? I would like to know the origins of PSVR without parole if you don't mind sharing.
I thought the way we could tackle this would be just we go right down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us talks for like a minute and a half about about how this thing started, about our part of it,
Okay.
and we just do a truncated, quick little overview.
Okay. You're up, Asia.
All right. This is as simple as it gets. I was a huge fan of Podcast Beyond, and those guys pulled me through some really dark days.
See his Litterbox episode for that, where
Yeah.
it goes in at length.
Without even knowing about it, these guys, on the other side of the country, totally, I'll totally say saved my life. And I was like, and when I got out of that time of my life, I was like, I just want to do something like this. I love talking about video games, and if I could ever be that person, the way they were for me,
Yeah.
then mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And I've already heard lots of stories about how we've been those people for other people, which just like warms my cold, still warm
Cockles
heart.
of your heart.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so that's it. Like I pre-ordered my PlayStation VR headset, not knowing if it was going to be any good or not. Heard some negative things ahead of time. Got it. all those negative things were wrong, and the rest is history. The second I got it, I was like, we need to focus on this thing.
Yeah.
All the time. It's my favorite thing ever.
For me, basically, I work with Brian, and I think it was an episode where like one of the previous co-hosts like bailed the lesson. It's like, oh, you kind of know geeky game stuff. Do you want to come and cover? So I did. Okay, I'll just be a substitute for one episode, and then I have like other stuff I need to do, and then. There was a couple other things. There was the Pokemon Go episode. I think that was one of the early ones.
That was one of our
Oh,
first.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then eventually became more of, all right, well, how about long-term substitute until we find a replacement to, here I am. As far as PSVR specifically, I've said many times I've kind of been like the discount gamer. Like I was a PC gamer forever. Then I got sick of loading drivers every time I wanted to play a game. So I got back into consoles. But I always was deliberately a generation behind just to save a ton of money.
Yeah.
And I was an Xbox guy. So basically everything against playing PSVR. But when Brian got his, he came in like so super jazzed and excited about it. It's like, all right, at first I was like, yeah, I lived through the 90s VR shrug. But after a really bad first attempt where I got super sick, about 6 months later, he tried it again with some better choices of games, and I got hooked. And that's pretty much it. And since then, I've been preaching the PSVR gospel.
Yeah. So Brian and I, from back when I was a GameStop manager, quite a long time back. Yeah. Brian used to come in once in a great while through the years, and he even talked about one day doing something like, I think at that point it was definitely not a YouTube channel. It was more just a podcast.
Years before Without Parole was a thing, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, way before.
Yeah.
So, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to the fact that then I eventually lost contact with Brian. He didn't come into the store as much. And then...
Amazon became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then me and my significant other's favorite restaurant happened to be at one that Brian worked at, so we reconnected. He says, I want to do the channel, you on board? So we started doing something, and then eventually, about, a year into it, is where the VR, we pre-ordered it just for the fuck of it, and both of us were like, should we do it, should we not? Mm-hmm. And like Brian said, we went through with it, and then Brian said, let's focus on this, because I love it, because we were struggling, I guess, with topics and things to talk about. We were just kind of like shooting the shit, talking about old games and whatever, and then as soon as the VR came around, it was like, unbelievable. It just looked insane, and it reignited Brian's absolute passion for the channel to keep on going and focus it on VR, because it just made it like you were a kid again, experiencing games for the first time.
And not only that, what the world needs more is more YouTube channels of a bunch of white guys talking about retro games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I knew. I was like, obviously I stayed current because I got my PlayStation 4 and I have a PlayStation 3 pretty early. But PlayStation 4 on launch day, and I was like, I love current gen games, but man, retro games have always been like my jam.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a million channels like that, and when we were super excited about PlayStation VR, no one else really was.
Nobody.
Like we were like it was us, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it has made me excited about gaming again.
Yeah.
Like I would play games. Like I said, I would a year or two after everyone else played it, I would get Skyrim. I would play Skyrim to death, and then when I was done with that, I wouldn't really do much until something, basically I found something else in the basement, and I was like, oh, I always wanted to play this.
Yeah.
And but now it's just, yes, partially for the channel, but I've made it no secret, I have spent more of my own money on games since this came out than I have on any other console, period. And that's even considering, like, people, we do get keys and things like that. Even on top of that, I have still spent more on this console, which is...
same.
If you know me saying something, well, yeah.
It actually puts the word game back in your mind when you think video game, because, it makes it so it's like you're doing quirky, weird, crazy type of shit that you normally wouldn't on these games that are flat screen ones that are just getting... a lot more complicated button-wise, going to sub-menus, and you know what I'm saying? There's a lot to it, and it is a game, but the VR just makes it like a fun game. It's hard to explain. Yeah. Anyways.
All right, you're up, Asia. Let's do it. Number 3.
What do we got here? Chris of Yick Gamecat from Rush VR. PSVR review. # viewer takeover.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing. Is this going to be another great multiplayer game that in a couple of months you struggle to find matches like so many awesome multiplayer VR games, people seem to move on to the next amazing title and rarely go back. Firewall seems to be the only title that seems to last the distance multiplayer-wise.
So Chris via GameCat was talking about Rush VR.
Yeah.
Now, Rush is awesome because not only is it a great single player game, but it's like better when you're like doing this wingsuit thing. Which, by the way, in my video, I had my hands out in front of me so you could see my hands using the move controllers.
Yeah.
The number of comments I've gotten from people like, "Well, this guy's never used a wingsuit in his life because his arms have to be out." I'm like, come on.
Also,
really?
Yes, never.
Right? I've never left my apartment.
You've
I play
never used
video
a
games.
wingsuit, Ryan?
I was like, I've laughed so hard at so many people who are like just don't understand this is a game.
How many of them used wingsuits?
At least a few of them. And so I'm like, you know what? The game totally works when you do it the correct way too. So you can do it Superman style, or you can put your arms out the correct way.
Yeah.
This game is awesome. It works no matter how you play it.
Yeah.
Point is that when you're using your wingsuit and you're flying through these caverns with 7 of your friends or enemies, even better, right? And you're watching them like slam into walls and stuff and crash and burn it. I'm like, this it's so much better. But the deal is that it's Rush and every other game that's not Firewall.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a long lifespan as far as multiplayer is concerned.
Yeah.
What's the great thing about PlayStation VR is that the community is really tight, and if you go into say our community, our like PSVR without Parole GameCat community, you can go and be like, I want to play Rush. Who wants to play with me?
Oh, yeah.
And you can probably get 7 people together at that
Easily.
point, right?
Yeah.
There might not be 8 people playing online at the same time, but it's super easy to get a few people to
the
go in
community
together.
is great, yeah.
Well,
Even right on the app, you can say, I want to meet some people later on at this point, and I guarantee you'll have people responding back saying, I'll be there.
Yeah, and that's the plus side. Like, the user base for PSVR is much smaller, so you have you're not going to fire up I don't know, let's say Spark and find like 10,000 people playing, but you're also not going to find 10,000 people playing. So you're not going to find just this random jerk from Saskatchewan. Throw Canada under the bus. I don't know.
They're not all jerks there.
No.
There might be one there.
But who's just like
whatever,
cussing you out the whole time while you're trying to play the game. You can actually say like, go on our community or other communities and say, hey, I want to play this game, and have a bunch of people who are cool and super groovy who want to play. So yes, you can't just automatically turn on a game that came out 2 years ago and expect there to be full lobbies, but you can very easily fill the lobbies with cool people.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, as long as developers and the publishers keep the servers running, then all is well with the world, right? So don't ever, I would say, don't ever skip on a game because you're like, oh, the multiplayer is going to be dead soon.
Yeah.
As long as you can create a group of people, you can find a group of people that are passionate about a specific game, and you can get them like, hey, you guys want to meet up every Friday and play Rush? Absolutely, right? It sounds like an epic plan.
I guarantee, like, we have, just in our community alone, people from around enough parts of the world where you can, any time of the day, just pop into the community and say, I want to play game X, and there will be someone somewhere who will say, oh yeah, let's play.
And there are designated days. There are people who play Wipeout on I think Wednesdays, just because it's WW. Wipeout Wednesdays and this To the Top Thursdays and stuff like that. Maybe it's Tuesdays. I don't know. I can't keep up. But so you can.
It's Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, if you're super excited about a specific game, designate a day and be like, I want to play with you guys, every single week at this time or something, and make it happen. Okay, let's move on. We got 2 more questions to go, and we're almost out of time.
So
Next
hot in
up
here.
is
Holy
that's me.
Shit.
from Solovision.
Solovision.
You stripping over there? Was that what's going on?
Yeah.
Solovision from
Pants
last
are
week's
off.
Viewer Takeover. He writes #Viewer Takeover. It's
Hey.
a thing. I didn't mean
That's
to
so meta.
touch you. I'm absolutely loving Space Pirate Trainer, and I'm honestly side-blinded by it. Side-blinded?
Yeah.
Blindsided?
Blindsided. Either way.
Blindsided or side blinded?
I thought wave shooters were simply a dime a dozen at this point, but this game
Yes, they are.
would have to be at least in my top 2. I wonder if he means wave shooters of all time. With all wave shooters now available on PlayStation VR, what would Without Parole recommend as maybe the top 3 must-own wave shooters for newcomers? I'm gonna say I love horror stuff. I'm gonna go with Brookhaven Experiment, and I'm gonna say newcomers. it starts you off nice and slow.
Yes.
Right, and you can only face 2 ways. You don't even have to do like any much turning. So it's not bad for a new PlayStation VR gamer.
Yeah.
It gets difficult later on.
It gets crazy difficult.
It's got longevity. So even if you're not new anymore, eventually you're still gonna love it.
And you can play it with anything, right? You can. DualShock 4, move controllers, aim.
You know what? I don't know if you can use the DualShock 4. I know you can use the aim and the moves, but
really? Okay.
I'd have to double check on the DualShock thing.
All right, maybe. Okay, I could be wrong.
I mean,
I usually
we did an episode on it. We should know.
I know, right?
So maybe
I'm trying to think back, but so the one. I mean, there's two. Because you said, must own wave shooters, and my brain reinterpreted that as my favorite, which are two different things. Yeah. But I still have a soft spot for VR Invaders. I don't know what it is. It's the graphical quality, the kind of like corny presentation or something, and really good gameplay. I think pretty solid gameplay. I think that's great, and that's a good kind of beginner to moderate one that I wouldn't say for beginners because it's crazy difficult and stressful, but one of my favorite PSVR games of all time is Shooty Fruity.
That's super duper difficult.
It is just wacky and insane, and if you don't know what it is, you're basically working at a grocery store, and like your gun, like when you run out of ammo, you can't reload. Just the guns kind of like come down the conveyor belt, but you're also supposed to scan groceries while you're shooting the fruit that comes at you. It's an insane idea and super fun. But
Excuse me.
Do you have a wave shooter you like, Jeremy?
I'm going to classify this as a wave shooter,
right.
But what a super hot VR.
It's funny. Right before you got here, we were having a conversation about whether super hot VR was a wave shooter or not.
Yeah, I would classify it as.
Yeah, we're gonna go with yes.
Yeah,
but with a
twist.
Definitely with the infinite. Like once you play it and you unlock like the infinite play, you basically stand in one place and enemies. I think the other levels are more, since the enemies come in exactly the same pattern the whole time.
Yeah, it's a little predictable.
It's a little more puzzly than Wave Shooter, but definitely the infinite. I think, but either way, it's an awesome game. You should buy that.
Yeah, I think it's great
for sure.
I love it.
All right, well then we got one more question.
Okay, is that me?
It is you.
Arisk the game cat. Yeah, Arisk the game cat. 5 days ago. Wow. Viewer takeover. After the move and aim controllers, what do you expect next? Something for the feet, like the 3D rudder? Also, I appreciate the written summary at the end of the review videos as a non-native English speaker. Well, first of all, you're doing a heck of a lot better than a lot of our native English speakers do in your comments, so nicely done.
Kudos.
Sir and or madam. I think Move 2 is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon, not tomorrow, but I think, PS5, PSVR 2, whatever. That's got to happen. This is old hardware and it's showing its age.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think we'll see an AIM 2 anytime soon.
No, I think AIM is doing the job perfectly well.
Yeah. That thing will be fine, I think, for quite a while. Yeah. Because it's got all that. It's got analogs. It's got all the buttons.
I'm with you on Move 2.0.
Yeah.
Not till next gen. I think that I think we're going to be stuck with our current Move controllers without analog sticks until next generation.
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of getting used to the fact that you just hold the Move button and point to where you want to go, and that's going to have to do it for now.
Yeah.
I do have information about something that's coming our way very, very shortly.
And he's not going to share it with you. Bye.
And I'm not going to share it with you. Because,
he's not.
because
that would be I'd get like 17 people fired if I told you about it.
Oh.
So I want all those people to keep their jobs so they can keep bringing us amazing titles.
Wait, Brian.
But man, it is the worst kept secret on the internet right now.
Okay.
So expect something awesome very soon. And that pretty much does it for another episode of Viewer Takeover.
It's been taken over.
Yeah, we've got just a couple minutes to get this place set up for yesterday's live show, and that's going to do it. So so here's the thing, guys. If you want your Viewer Takeover introduction shown at the beginning of our show, make sure you send your short, sweet, sexy, seductive, most of your clothes on video to withoutparole@gmail.com. If it doesn't fit in your inbox, as Jeremy says, consider yourself lucky.
Very lucky.
Also, make sure you change your name to GameCat. Something to GameCat. Show your allegiance. Show your fluffiness. Show your kitty cattiness to the channel.
Get a wristband.
Expose your belly.
Yeah.
And if you change your name to something to GameCat, make sure you put #GameCat in the comments so I can find you nice and easy, unlike Mick Ladd, who I had to fucking hunt down like a predator. And then also, finally, go to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
Thank you so much.
What?
And support us for $1 or more every month. As always, I'm Brian, that's Jeremy, and this is Des, and we'll see you next week. we've had this conversation about your shirt before. What's your shirt?
Oh, it's the OCs.
The OCs, right.
Yeah.
But we haven't had that conversation in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't worn it since the first time I wore it. I've only worn it once.
So wait, I saw you the one other time you wore it? Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's strange.
I grabbed it. I'm like, what am I? And I threw it on.
I don't know if that means we spend too much time together or you have too many articles of clothing.